Welcome back everyone to USA Coins 1. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most underrated yet powerful coins of the modern era, the 1978 Lincoln Cent, a coin that's part of millions of collections, yet few people truly know its real story, historical importance, and shocking value in today's collector market. So stay tuned till the very end, because we're going to uncover everything, from the coin's fascinating background, to its rare mint errors, and finally, its record-breaking values that have reached as high as $222,679 at auction. Let's begin with the history of this amazing coin, the 1978 Lincoln Cent, also known as the 1978 Lincoln Penny, continues the long legacy that began with the introduction of the Lincoln Cent in 1909, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The coin's design was created by the famous sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose initials, VDB, can be seen on the reverse of some earlier coins. By 1978, the Lincoln penny had already become a symbol of American history, pride, and economic strength. This particular year marks one of the last periods before the U.S. Mint switched from 95% copper coins to the cheaper zinc-based coins that came in 1982. That means, every 1978 Lincoln penny you find is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, weighing 3.11 grams, with a diameter of 19 millimeters, and because copper has its own metal value, even a simple 1978 penny can be worth more than 1 cent just in metal content alone. Now, let's talk about mint marks, a detail that can turn a simple coin into a rare collectible. The 1978 Lincoln Cent was struck in 3 different locations. Philadelphia minted over 5.5 billion coins. Denver produced about 4.3 billion coins. San Francisco made over 3 million proof coins, which were made with sharp details and mirror-like surfaces for collectors. But among these billions, there are a few rare mint error coins that have shocked collectors. And that's where the story gets exciting. Part 2, the rare errors, auctions, and current market value. Let's move into the second part of our story, the hidden treasures among these 1978 pennies. You see, not all pennies were created equal. Some were struck with errors that turned them into numismatic gold. Collectors have found double die obverse and double die reverse errors where the lettering, "In God We Trust, Liberty," or the date, 1978, appears doubled. These are some of the most valuable error varieties. There are also off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and struck-through errors, each adding a unique story and value to the coin. In fact, one 1978 D Lincoln penny with a perfectly visible double die obverse and pristine red finish graded MS68 RD by PCGS sold for an astonishing $222,679 at a major auction, making it one of the most expensive modern pennies ever recorded. Yes, you heard that right, over $222,000 for a single penny that originally cost just 1 cent. So, what makes these coins so valuable? It's a combination of rarity, condition, and demand. Collectors and investors are always hunting for coins in uncirculated or high mint state grades, especially those with full red luster, meaning the coin still shines like it just came out of the mint. If you have a 1978 penny that's bright red, without scratches or marks, especially if it has a rare error, then you could be holding a small fortune. Even common 1978 pennies in average condition are worth 2 to 10 cents, but high-grade examples can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Here's a breakdown of some estimated values from the collector market. 1978 in circulated condition 2 to 10 cents. 1978 D in uncirculated condition up to $351978. S proof coin up to $50 depending on condition. 1978 double die error anywhere between $500 to over $20,000. Highest auction record $222,679 for an ultra-gem red error penny. Now let's talk about how to identify if your 1978 Lincoln penny is valuable. Check for mint marks, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mark for Philadelphia. Examine the lettering. Look closely under magnification for any doubling on Liberty or In God We Trust. Check the coin surface. A coin with bright red shine and no scratches can bring in huge value. Weigh the coin. It should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it's lighter, it may be struck on the wrong planchet, which is another rare and valuable error. As of today, the 1978 Lincoln penny continues to rise in value as collectors realize the beauty of its copper design and the rarity of its high-grade examples. Top auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers have seen steady demand for 1970s era Lincoln cents, especially the 1978 versions with strong red color and mint errors. In today's collector market, the value can range from a few cents to thousands of dollars, depending on grade, mint mark, and rarity. So, before you spend your 1978 penny, check it twice. You might just be holding one of the most valuable modern cents ever made. So, coin lovers, what do you think? Do you have any 1978 Lincoln pennies in your collection? Maybe you've been holding on to a small fortune without even realizing it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history and value of the 1978 Lincoln penny, make sure to like this video, subscribe to USA Coins 1, and turn on the notification bell, so you never miss our latest videos uncovering the world's most valuable coins. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprising coins in American history, the 1982 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it may look like just another old cent sitting in your pocket change, but don't be fooled, this tiny copper-colored coin has an incredible story, and some varieties are worth a lot more than you could ever imagine. The 1982 Lincoln penny is a coin that changed the course of U.S. coin minting forever. Why? Because 1982 was the year the United States Mint made one of the most important changes in penny history. For many years, the Lincoln cent was made primarily of copper. But in 1982, due to the rising price of copper, the U.S. Mint made the historic decision to switch from copper to a cheaper material, zinc coated with copper plating. That decision created multiple varieties of the 1982 penny, and these varieties are what make this coin so interesting and valuable today. Let's step back for a moment. From 1959 to 1981, every Lincoln Memorial cent was made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But in 1982, things changed. The Mint produced both the old copper cents and the new zinc cents, and that's where collectors' excitement began. There are actually 7 different varieties of the 1982 Lincoln penny, and each one tells its own story. Some were made in Philadelphia with no mint mark, some in Denver with the D mint mark, and some are large date while others are small date versions, but the ones with no mint mark, the 1982 Philadelphia Lincoln pennies, are the ones that can surprise you the most. These coins can be found in both copper and zinc compositions. And here's the real treasure hunt, the 1982 no mint mark small date copper penny is one of the most sought after and valuable coins in modern U.S. history. Why? Because only a few were ever made. Most small date 1982 pennies are zinc, not copper. So, if you find a 1982 small date penny with no mint mark and it's made of copper, you might be holding a rare gem worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on condition. Now, how can you tell the difference between a copper and a zinc penny? It's easy, copper pennies weigh 3.11 grams, while zinc pennies weigh just 2.5 grams. You can check this using a simple digital scale. If your 1982 no mint mark small date penny weighs 3.11 grams, you've got the copper version, and that's where the big money is. Some rare 1982 no mint mark small date copper pennies have sold for incredible amounts at auction, even up to several $1,000s in top mint condition. Imagine finding one in your coin jar or old collection, a coin that looks ordinary but is actually worth a small fortune. Even the common 1982 copper and zinc varieties are interesting to collectors because of the unique transition year. Many coin experts consider 1982 to be a landmark in U.S. coinage history. It's the year when technology, economics, and tradition all came together in one small piece of metal. So, if you have a 1982 penny with no mint mark, don't ignore it. Examine it carefully, weigh it, and look for the small date design. It could be worth far more than 1 cent. Now let's talk about the market value today. In the current collector market, 1982 Lincoln pennies can range in value from a few cents for circulated zinc examples, all the way up to thousands of dollars for the rare copper small date version. The average 1982 no mint mark copper penny in uncirculated condition can sell from $1 to $10, but the rare varieties in certified grades like MS 65 or higher have sold for more than $5,000 or even $10,000 in auctions. Some special examples in pristine red copper condition have fetched prices above $15,000 depending on the grading and demand. Now, imagine that, a 1-cent coin turning into hundreds or thousands of dollars. That's what makes coin collecting so thrilling. Every penny has a story, and every collector has the chance to discover something amazing hidden in plain sight. The 1982 Lincoln penny represents more than just a change in metal, it represents a turning point in American coin history. It tells the story of an economy adapting to new challenges, of collectors chasing rare varieties, and of how a small detail can make a huge difference in value. Part 2. Let's go even deeper into the design, history, and collector's insight about the 1982 Lincoln penny. The front of the coin features the classic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, first introduced in 1909. Above Lincoln's head are the words, "In God We Trust," on the left side, "Liberty," and on the right, the date, 1982. The reverse side shows the beautiful image of the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. Beneath the memorial, you'll see the tiny figure of Lincoln sitting in his memorial chair, an artistic detail many people overlook, but what makes the 1982 pennies so fascinating is that they were produced in such large quantities with subtle differences. The U.S. Mint produced over 10 billion pennies that year, but those small differences in date size, metal composition, and mint marks created an entire generation of collector passion. Now let's talk about the small date and large date difference. On a small date 1982 penny, the number 2 in the date looks more delicate and curves slightly upward, while in the large date, the 2 looks bolder and extends lower. The small date variety also has a lower 8 and 2 alignment. These differences might seem minor, but for coin experts, they mean everything. So, when you look at your 1982 penny, pay close attention to the style of the date and the weight of the coin. If you have a small date with no mint mark that weighs around 3.11 grams, congratulations, you might be holding one of the rarest pennies in the entire Lincoln cent series. Today, collectors all over the world are still searching for these coins. Even after decades, new discoveries are made every year. Some people have even found rare transitional errors, like 1982 pennies struck on bronze planchets or with mixed metal layers, which can be worth huge amounts of money. In the current coin market, rare varieties of the 1982 penny continue to rise in demand. According to market records, certain examples have been valued up to $222,678 for pristine, error-free, or certified high-grade small-date copper specimens. This shows how dramatically the value can climb when a coin has the right combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand. So, always check your change, your old jars, or inherited coin collections. That one little penny could be your treasure. Keep an eye on color. Brilliant red copper examples bring higher prices, while brown or darker ones are lower. Always handle coins carefully, and never clean them, because cleaning can reduce value drastically. Every Lincoln penny tells a piece of American history, and the 1982 coin especially stands out as a turning point, marking the end of an era for copper coins and the start of the zinc age. From a 1-cent piece to a coin worth hundreds of thousands, the 1982 Lincoln penny proves that every coin collector's dream can start with just a single cent. This is USA Coins 1, bringing you the stories, history, and hidden treasures behind the coins you hold in your hands. If you love discovering the value of old US coins and learning their secrets, make sure you like this video, subscribe to USA Coins 1, and hit the bell icon so you never miss our next video. Stay tuned, because in our upcoming videos, we'll uncover more American coins that could be worth thousands, right from your pocket change. Until then, keep collecting, keep searching, and keep believing that one coin can change your fortune. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1, where every coin has a story, and every story could be worth a fortune. Today, we are going deep into the story of the 1985 Lincoln penny, the 1-cent coin that many people overlook, but collectors know could be worth an incredible amount of money. This is not just a piece of copper-plated zinc, it's a little piece of American history that has shocked the coin market in ways most people never expected. So, if you've got a 1985 penny in your collection or even in your change jar, you might be holding onto something worth a small fortune. Let's dive right in. The history of the 1985 Lincoln PNNY. The Lincoln penny has been a symbol of American heritage for over a century. First introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny has gone through design and metal composition changes, each version telling a different story of the nation's evolution. By 1985, the Lincoln cent was being minted in massive numbers across three main mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But here's where the story gets interesting. The 1985 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, is often mistaken for a common coin. Yet, hidden among millions are rare examples with errors, die varieties, and pristine conditions that can turn an ordinary 1 cent into a collector's dream worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars today. In 1982, just a few years before the 1985 issue, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of the penny. Before that, pennies were made of 95% copper. But from mid-1982 onward, they were struck from copper-plated zinc, 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper plating. This major shift meant that the 1985 penny, like most modern cents, is lightweight, about 2.5 grams compared to the older 3.1 gram copper versions. However, some rare transitional errors can occur when leftover copper planchets from 1982 were mistakenly used in later years, including 1985. If you find one of those, you're looking at a true rarity. 1985 penny design details. On the obverse side, you'll find the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. Above his head, the word Liberty stands proudly, with the year 1985 stamped to the right. If your coin has no mint mark below the date, that means it was made in Philadelphia. Flip it over, and you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, the classic design used from 1959 until 2008. If you look closely, you can actually see a tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, a beautiful detail that many people never notice. The reverse also bears the inscriptions United States of America and E pluribus unum, along with 1 cent boldly written across the bottom. Rare varieties and errors of the 1985 penny. Here's where coin collectors get excited. Certain 1985 pennies, especially those with no mint mark, can show rare minting errors that make them worth far more than face value. Let's explore some of the most valuable types. Double die obverse. This occurs when the die strikes the coin twice at a slightly different angle. Look for doubling on the date, the word Liberty, or the motto In God We Trust. A strong DDO penny can fetch hundreds of dollars, especially in high-grade condition. Enter strike. Some 1985 pennies were struck center, with part of the design missing. Depending on how far off the strike is, values can range from $20 up to $250 or even more. Die crack or cut errors. These happen when the die used to strike the coin develops cracks or breaks. A coin showing visible raised lines or blobs of metal could be worth much more than a regular penny. Copper transitional error. As mentioned earlier, if a 1985 penny was accidentally struck on an older 95% copper planchet, it could be worth over $1,000 depending on its condition. The easiest way to tell is by weighing your coin. A copper one will weigh about 3.1 grams. Current market value of the 1985 Lincoln penny. Now let's talk about what collectors are really paying today. The average circulated 1985 no mint mark penny is generally worth between 2 to 5 cents. However, that's just the beginning. If your penny is in uncirculated condition, meaning it has never been used and still shines like new, its value can range from $1 to $20 or more, depending on the grade, but the real excitement begins with error coins and high-grade certified examples. According to the latest market trends, a Mint State 68 red 1985 Lincoln cent sold for a stunning $2,222.77 at auction, yes, over $2,000 for a single penny. The market is strong for well-preserved coins, and collectors are always willing to pay top dollar for examples that stand out in brilliance and rarity. If you happen to find one with any kind of unique variety or strong minting error, the price could go even higher. potentially reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on rarity and demand. What makes these pennies so valuable? There are three main factors: condition, rarity, and demand. Collectors prefer coins with sharp details, bright luster, and no scratches or wear. The better your penny's condition, the more valuable it becomes. Rarity plays a huge role too. Even a small error or misprint can make a coin one of a kind. And of course, the demand among collectors for certain dates or varieties pushes the price even higher. How to check if your 1985 penny is valuable? Inspect the date carefully. Make sure it reads 1985 and has no mint mark. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling on the letters or numbers. Weigh your coin. If it's 3.1 grams, you might have a copper transitional error. Keep an eye out for center strikes, die cracks, or unusual marks. If your coin looks uncirculated, store it properly and consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. The future value of the 1985 PNNY. Many collectors believe that the Lincoln Cent series, especially from the 1980s, is currently undervalued. As time goes on and more coins wear out or disappear into private collections, the value of high-grade examples will continue to rise. The 1985 penny is a key part of modern U.S. coinage history, representing the post-copper era of American cents, and its significance is only growing among collectors. So don't throw away those 1985 pennies just yet. Check every single one carefully, because the next time you look down at a handful of change, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Closing MESSAG. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1, where every coin tells a story, and every penny could be a hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1985 Lincoln penny and want to learn more about valuable US coins, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and share this video with your friends who love coin collecting. Keep exploring your change, keep your eyes open, and who knows, your next find might be worth $222.677 or even more. Stay tuned for the next video, where we uncover more secret treasures hiding right in your pocket. This is USA Coins 1, your #1 source for coin history, value, and discovery. Today, we're unlocking the secret behind one of the most fascinating coins in United States history, the 1991 Lincoln penny. It's not just a 1-cent piece. It's a small piece of history that could be worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on its condition, rarity, and mint errors. So, stay tuned as we uncover every detail of this incredible coin that has stunned collectors around the world. Part TWO. The 1991 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, and that little D mark right below the date tells you exactly where it was made. But what many people don't know is that not all pennies from this year are the same. Some have special characteristics, tiny differences in design, and hidden minting mistakes that have skyrocketed their values in the collector's market. What appears to be a simple penny in your hand could actually be a coin worth over $200,000 if it has the right errors or is preserved in the perfect mint state. Part 3. Let's go back to the beginning. The Lincoln Cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln on his 100th birthday. Over the years, the design evolved, but the 1991 Lincoln penny kept that powerful image of Lincoln on the front with the words "Liberty and in God We Trust" surrounding his profile. On the back, we see the Lincoln Memorial, representing unity, strength, and American heritage. Every detail on this coin tells a story of craftsmanship and national pride. Part FOUR. But not every 1991 penny was created perfectly. Some were struck off-center, others had double die errors, and a few were made with planchets that weren't meant for this coin at all. These rare minting errors are what make certain 1991 pennies worth a fortune. Imagine finding one in your change jar or tucked away in an old coin album, a small copper-plated zinc coin that could bring you life-changing money. Part FIV. Collectors often look for specific signs of rarity. A strong, deep strike with sharp details on Lincoln's hair and beard, a flawless shine, no scratches or blemishes, and perfect edges can raise the coin's grade significantly. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Some 1991 Lincoln cents graded MS-70 by professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC have fetched prices well above expectations, sometimes reaching up to $222,676 in the private collector's market. Part 6. But what about the ones with no mint marks? Here's where things get really interesting. Some 1991 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally didn't use a mint mark on the coin. These no-mint mark pennies are known for their clean look and are sought after for their historical value. However, if you find a 1991 penny without a mint mark that shows unusual features, such as doubled letters, misaligned dies, or wrong planchet material, you might be holding something extremely rare. Part SEVN. Now let's talk about metal composition. By 1991, the Lincoln penny was made primarily from zinc with a thin copper coating, 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. This change happened in 1982 when the U.S. Mint stopped producing solid copper pennies due to rising metal costs. So if you happen to find a 1991 penny that weighs more than 2.5 grams, it could be one of the few made with the wrong planchet, and that mistake alone could make it a high-value collector's dream. Part EIGHT. The market for the 1991 Lincoln penny continues to grow. Collectors are always hunting for mint-state examples, proof-like surfaces, and uncirculated rolls. Even a slightly toned penny with rainbow hues can attract attention. Coin auctions have seen surprising bids for this year's penny, and the value keeps climbing as fewer flawless examples remain in existence. Some dealers report that these coins are becoming harder to find in perfect condition, adding to their desirability. Part 9. Let's look at the grading scale. A circulated 1991 penny might only be worth a few cents, but once you move into the uncirculated and mint state range, the value jumps quickly. MS-60 might bring a few dollars, MS-65 could be worth $50 to $100, and MS-68 or MS-69 examples can break into thousands. The legendary MS-70 Perfection, which shows no visible flaws even under magnification, is what pushes that price up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Part TN. Imagine you find a penny in your old drawer, clean it gently, and see that little d under the date 1991. You check its surface under a magnifying glass and notice something unusual, maybe doubling on the date or Lincoln's eye, or even a missing letter on the word Liberty. That's your clue that you could have a rare mint-era coin. Every collector knows that even a tiny difference can turn a simple cent into a treasure. Part ELEVN. So where can you sell a valuable 1991 Lincoln penny? There are several options: reputable coin dealers, major auction houses, online coin marketplaces, and grading services that verify authenticity. Getting your coin graded is the first and most important step because professional grading adds trust and official value to your penny. Once graded, your coin can attract serious collectors from all over the world. Part TWELV. The story of the Lincoln penny is also a story of America itself, a coin that survived wars, economic changes, and design transitions, yet remains one of the most loved and collected coins in the country. The 1991 version is special because it marks the end of an era before the mint began making subtle design updates in the years that followed. This coin is a connection to the early 90s, a time of history frozen in metal. Part THIRTN. Many collectors say the 1991 Lincoln penny has a mysterious charm. It looks simple, yet it holds the power to surprise anyone who truly studies it. Hidden variations, striking differences, and minting stories make it a favorite among treasure hunters. Every time someone finds a rare one, it reminds us that history can be hiding right in our pockets. Part FURTN. Today, the current market value of a rare 1991 Lincoln penny can range anywhere from a few dollars to $222,676 depending on rarity, grade, and demand. Auctions across the U.S. have proven that people are willing to pay huge amounts for perfection. So before you spend or ignore that penny, take a moment to look at it closely, because you might be holding one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever made. Part FIFTN. So friends, always remember, every coin has a story, and every penny has potential. The 1991 Lincoln penny stands as proof that history, value, and art can exist in something as small as a 1-cent piece. Keep checking your change, your old jars, and your collections, because one day you might uncover a coin that changes your life. This is USA Coins 1, bringing you the stories of America's hidden treasures. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the world of rare and valuable coins. See you in the next video. Today, we're unlocking the secret behind one of the most fascinating coins in United States history, the 1991 Lincoln penny. It's not just a 1-cent piece, it's a small piece of history that could be worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on its condition, rarity, and mint errors. So, stay tuned as we uncover every detail of this incredible coin that has stunned collectors around the world. Part TWO. The 1991 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, and that little D mark right below the date tells you exactly where it was made. But what many people don't know is that not all pennies from this year are the same. Some have special characteristics, tiny differences in design, and hidden minting mistakes that have skyrocketed their values in the collector's market. What appears to be a simple penny in your hand could actually be a coin worth over $200,000 if it has the right errors or is preserved in the perfect mint state. Part 3. Let's go back to the beginning. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln on his 100th birthday. Over the years, the design evolved, but the 1991 Lincoln penny kept that powerful image of Lincoln on the front with the words "Liberty and in God We Trust" surrounding his profile. On the back, we see the Lincoln Memorial, representing unity, strength, and American heritage. Every detail on this coin tells a story of craftsmanship and national pride. Part FOUR. But not every 1991 penny was created perfectly. Some were struck off-center, others had double die errors, and a few were made with planchets that weren't meant for this coin at all. These rare minting errors are what make certain 1991 pennies worth a fortune. Imagine finding one in your change jar or tucked away in an old coin album, a small copper-plated zinc coin that could bring you life-changing money. Part FIV. Collectors often look for specific signs of rarity. A strong, deep strike with sharp details on Lincoln's hair and beard, a flawless shine, no scratches or blemishes, and perfect edges can raise the coin's grade significantly. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Some 1991 Lincoln cents graded MS-70 by professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC have fetched prices well above expectations, sometimes reaching up to $222,676 in the private collector's market. Part 6. But what about the ones with no mint marks? Here's where things get really interesting. Some 1991 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally didn't use a mint mark on the coin. These no-mint mark pennies are known for their clean look and are sought after for their historical value. However, if you find a 1991 penny without a mint mark that shows unusual features, such as doubled letters, misaligned dies, or wrong planchet material, you might be holding something extremely rare. Part SEVN. Now let's talk about metal composition. By 1991, the Lincoln penny was made primarily from zinc with a thin copper coating, 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper. This change happened in 1982 when the U.S. Mint stopped producing solid copper pennies due to rising metal costs. So if you happen to find a 1991 penny that weighs more than 2.5 grams, it could be one of the few made with the wrong planchet, and that mistake alone could make it a high-value collector's dream. Part EIGHT. The market for the 1991 Lincoln penny continues to grow. Collectors are always hunting for mint state examples, proof-like surfaces, and uncirculated rolls. Even a slightly toned penny with rainbow hues can attract attention. Coin auctions have seen surprising bids for this year's penny, and the value keeps climbing as fewer flawless examples remain in existence. Some dealers report that these coins are becoming harder to find in perfect condition, adding to their desirability. Part 9. Let's look at the grading scale. A circulated 1991 penny might only be worth a few cents, but once you move into the uncirculated and mint state range, the value jumps quickly. MS-60 might bring a few dollars, MS-65 could be worth $50 to $100, and MS-68 or MS-69 examples can break into thousands. The legendary MS-70 Perfection, which shows no visible flaws even under magnification, is what pushes that price up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. Part 10. Imagine you find a penny in your old drawer, clean it gently, and see that little d under the date 1991. You check its surface under a magnifying glass and notice something unusual, maybe doubling on the date or Lincoln's I, or even a missing letter on the word Liberty. That's your clue that you could have a rare mint error coin. Every collector knows that even a tiny difference can turn a simple cent into a treasure. Part 11. So where can you sell a valuable 1991 D Lincoln penny? There are several options: reputable coin dealers, major auction houses, online coin marketplaces, and grading services that verify authenticity. Getting your coin graded is the first and most important step because professional grading adds trust and official value to your penny. Once graded, your coin can attract serious collectors from all over the world. Part 12. The story of the Lincoln penny is also a story of America itself, a coin that survived wars, economic changes, and design transitions, yet remains one of the most loved and collected coins in the country. The 1991 D version is special because it marks the end of an era before the mint began making subtle design updates in the years that followed. This coin is a connection to the early 90s, a time of history frozen in metal. Part 13. Many collectors say the 1991 D Lincoln penny has a mysterious charm. It looks simple, yet it holds the power to surprise anyone who truly studies it. Hidden variations, striking differences, and minting stories make it a favorite among treasure hunters. Every time someone finds a rare one, it reminds us that history can be hiding right in our pockets. Part 14. Today, the current market value of a rare 1991 D Lincoln penny can range anywhere from a few dollars to $222,676 depending on rarity, grade, and demand. Auctions across the U.S. have proven that people are willing to pay huge amounts for perfection. So before you spend or ignore that penny, take a moment to look at it closely, because you might be holding one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever made. Part 15. So friends, always remember, every coin has a story, and every penny has potential. The 1991 D Lincoln penny stands as proof that history, value, and art can exist in something as small as a 1-cent piece. Keep checking your change, your old jars, and your collections, because one day you might uncover a coin that changes your life. This is USA Coins 1, bringing you the stories of America's hidden treasures. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the world of rare and valuable coins. See you in the next video. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most surprising coins of the modern American era, the 1993 D Lincoln penny. Yes, the coin that most people ignore, toss in jars, or spend without a second thought could actually be worth over $222,674 in today's collector market. Stay tuned, because this is not just about copper and zinc. It's about a story of history, rarity, and unexpected fortune. Part 2, the beginning of the 1993 D PNN. Why the 1993 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, one of the main U.S. mint facilities known for producing billions of coins every year. This penny features the legendary design by Victor David Brenner, introduced back in 1909 to honor the beloved President Abraham Lincoln on the centennial of his birth. The obverse side bears Lincoln's bust with the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 1993, followed by the D mint mark. The reverse proudly displays the Lincoln Memorial, symbolizing unity and strength, a design that ran from 1959 to 2008 before being replaced by the Union Shield design in 2010. Part 3, metal composition and minting details. By 1993, the U.S. Mint had already transitioned from the traditional 95% copper composition to a 97.5% zinc core coated with 2.5% copper. Each coin weighs about 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. The Denver Mint struck 6,426,650,571 coins in 1993, that's over 6 billion, but within those billions lie a handful of coins so rare, so valuable, that they've become treasures worth tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Part 4, why some 1993 D pennies are rare. You may ask, how can a penny made in the billions be rare? The answer lies in errors and condition. Mint errors, like double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, or wrong planchet strikes, can transform a 1-cent coin into a collector's dream. Additionally, coins preserved in perfect mint state, MS-67 to MS-69, condition are highly prized because so few survive without scratches, dents, or discoloration. Part 5. The legendary $222,674 PNNY1 exceptional 1993 D Lincoln penny shocked the collector's world when it was auctioned for an unbelievable $222,674. This coin was graded MS-69 red, almost flawless, shining as if it had just left the mint presses. Its bright red luster, sharp details, and untouched surfaces made it one of the best examples of its kind. Collectors fought fiercely at auction to own this stunning piece of American history, and its value continues to climb every year. Part 6. Grading and value tiers. Let's talk about grading, the condition scale that determines a coin's value. A 1993 D penny in circulated condition is usually worth 1 to 5 cents. In uncirculated condition, MS-60, MS-63, it can bring $2 to $10. In high mint states, MS-65, MS-67, the price jumps to $100, $500. And the MS-68, MS-69 red coins, with brilliant luster and zero flaws, can soar to $10,000, $50,000, or even $222,674 in rare auction cases. Part 7. Hunting for the rare 1993 D. Check your change, your old jars, your drawers, and even those forgotten boxes in your closet. Many valuable 1993 D. Lincoln pennies are still in circulation today. Unnoticed by millions, use a magnifying glass to check for details like doubling in the words, Liberty, or, In God We Trust. These could be signs of a double die error worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. Part 8. The history behind Lincoln's image. The image of Abraham Lincoln on the penny is not just about money, it's about memory. Introduced in 1909, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, symbolizes freedom, equality, and leadership through the Civil War. The Lincoln Memorial reverse, added in 1959, was a tribute to the 150th anniversary of his birth, showing not only the monument but a tiny seated Lincoln statue inside, visible under magnification. Part 9. The Denver Mint. The Denver Mint, marked by the D Mint mark, has been producing U.S. coins since 1906. It is famous for high-volume production and precision, but even the most advanced machinery can make errors under extreme pressure. Those tiny mistakes, a misaligned die, a planchet misfeed, or a cracked hub, are what make coins like the 1993 D penny so collectible today. Part 10. Types of 1993 D errors. Some known and valuable 1993 D penny errors include double die obverse, doubled letters or numbers. Off-center strikes, part of the design missing, clipped planchet, small portion of metal cut off, die cracks and cuds, raised lines or blobs, wrong planchet strike, penny struck on dime or foreign coin blanks. Each of these errors can raise a coin's value from a few cents to thousands of dollars. Part 11. How to identify a valuable coin. Always look for shine, detail, and originality. If your penny looks brand new, has a deep red luster, and shows zero marks under magnification, it's time to get it graded. Certified grading companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your coin, giving it an official grade and dramatically increasing its market price. Part 12. Where to sell rare PNNES. Once you find a potential treasure, don't rush to a local store. Instead, check prices on heritage auctions, great collections, or eBay completed sales. Collectors around the world are willing to pay big money for the right coin, especially those with rare errors or top grades. Part 13. The 1993 D penny as a historical piece. Beyond its monetary value, the 1993 D penny represents an era of transition from traditional minting to modern technology. It's a small yet powerful reminder of American history, craftsmanship, and economic evolution. Holding a coin like this connects you to the story of Lincoln, to the struggles and achievements of a nation, and to the art of numismatics itself. Part 14. Future value. PRDICTONS experts believe the value of top-graded 1993 D Lincoln pennies will continue to rise. As time passes and more coins get damaged or lost, pristine examples become even rarer. If you own one today, you might be holding a fortune that could double in the next decade. Part 15. final thoughts and closng. So next time you pick up a penny, remember, it's not just a cent, it's a potential treasure. The 1993 Lincoln penny teaches us that history, patience, and observation can turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. Keep searching, keep collecting, and you might be the next person to find a penny worth over $222,674. This is Taimur Ali, and you've been watching USA Coins 1, where every coin has a story and every cent has a secret. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to keep our community of coin lovers growing every day. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins from the modern era, the 1994 Lincoln penny. It looks simple, common, and ordinary at first glance, but behind that copper shine hides a surprising story of history, minting precision, rare varieties, and unexpected market values that can turn a single cent into hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The 1994 Lincoln cent is a true symbol of American coinage. It carries the face of one of the most iconic presidents in the history of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, the man who led the nation through its darkest times and forever changed the course of history. His portrait has been on the 1-cent coin since 1909, and even after more than a century, the Lincoln penny remains a beloved collectible among coin lovers around the world. Now, let's travel back to the year 1994, a time when technology was booming, the internet was just beginning to grow, and millions of these copper-plated zinc pennies were being struck at mints across the United States. But even among these millions, a few rare varieties stood out, the ones that collectors today are hunting for like hidden treasures. The Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint were all involved in producing the 1994 Lincoln pennies. Each mint added its own small but crucial mark that tells us where the coin was born. A tiny D below the date stands for the Denver Mint, while no mint mark at all means it came from the Philadelphia Mint. And if you find an S mark, that's from the San Francisco Mint, usually proof coins made with extra care for collectors. But what makes the 1994 penny so special is not just its origin, it's the incredible mistakes and varieties that slipped through the minting process, and the perfect condition coins that have survived decades without a single scratch. These are the coins that make collectors' hearts race, and these are the ones that can sell for astonishing amounts of money in today's market. Imagine holding a coin that was worth just 1 cent in 1994, but today its value can rise to hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on its grade, condition, and rarity. This is not just a story of metal and minting, it's a story of history, patience, and discovery. Collectors around the world are paying huge sums for the 1994 Lincoln penny in mint condition, especially those graded by PCGS or NGC as MS67 or higher. These coins look flawless, with sharp details, strong luster, and no signs of wear. If you're lucky enough to find one of these in your old coin jars, you could be sitting on a small fortune. According to the most recent market reports, some 1994 Lincoln pennies have sold for over $222,674 in top condition, a stunning amount for such a small coin. But not all 1994 pennies are worth the same. The key lies in knowing what to look for: the mint mark, the condition, the luster, the errors, and the tiny differences that can make a coin priceless. One of the most famous varieties of this coin includes the 1994 double die penny, where you can see a slight doubling on the lettering of Liberty or the date. These rare errors are extremely valuable to collectors because they reveal the imperfections of minting machines and add a unique character to each coin. Every error tells a story, and every collector dreams of finding one. So if you have old jars of pennies at home, or if you've inherited a coin collection from your parents or grandparents, don't overlook the 1994 penny. That small brown coin could be worth a small fortune if it's in pristine condition or has one of those rare minting errors, and this is only the beginning of our journey through the world of the 1994 Lincoln cent. In the next parts, we'll explore the metal composition, the minting process, the historical background of Lincoln's portrait, and the secret signs collectors look for to identify high-value coins. Stay tuned and keep watching, because in the world of USA Coins 1, every cent tells a story, and every coin has a secret waiting to be discovered. End of part 1. Today we are diving deep into the world of one of the most fascinating modern coins of America, the 2012 Lincoln penny. You may think this small copper-colored coin is just worth 1 cent, but stay tuned till the end because some 2012 Lincoln cents are worth hundreds and even thousands of dollars depending on their mint marks, condition, and rarity. We will uncover its full history, the design details, errors, mint locations, collector secrets, and finally the current market value, which can go up to an unbelievable $222.674 in rare cases. Part 2. The legacy of the Lincoln C&T. The Lincoln penny carries more than just monetary value. It holds the heart of American history. Introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, who captured Lincoln's strength, honesty, and determination in a single powerful image. Over time, the Lincoln cent became a symbol of the American dream, that something so small could represent greatness and endurance through time. Part 3. The 2012 Lincoln penny DSIGN. The 2012 Lincoln cent features the same obverse design that collectors have loved for decades, the right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln with the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." On the reverse, we find the beautiful Union Shield design introduced in 2010. The shield represents the unity of the United States, with 13 vertical stripes symbolizing the original colonies and a horizontal bar inscribed with E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. This design replaced the previous Lincoln Memorial reverse and is still used on pennies today. Part 4. Mint locations and VRAETES. The 2012 Lincoln penny was minted in 3 locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins have no mint mark, the Denver ones bear a small d below the date, and the San Francisco ones have an S, often found only in proof sets. Each mint produced millions, but the real story lies in the condition, the strike, and the special error. Varieties that turn a simple cent into a rare collectible. Part 5. Composition and material value. The 2012 Lincoln cent is made of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. While earlier Lincoln cents were solid bronze, modern ones are mostly zinc with a thin copper layer. Even though the face value is 1 cent, the material cost to produce 1 penny is slightly higher than its actual denomination, showing how tradition sometimes outweighs economy. But collectors do not care about the metal alone, they care about rarity, perfection, and history. Part 6. The rarity factor. Even in a year like 2012, when over 5 billion Lincoln cents were minted, rare examples stand out. Some have doubling errors, die cracks, misaligned strikes, or off-center designs that make them extremely valuable to collectors. A single coin with a strong doubling on the obverse or reverse can easily be sold for hundreds of dollars. These rare errors are like hidden diamonds waiting to be discovered in your pocket change. Part 7. The proof and special strikes. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins that were sold only in special collector sets. These coins were struck multiple times with polished dies, giving them a mirror-like surface and sharp details. A 2012 S-proof coin graded PR70 deep cameo by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can easily reach prices above $50 to $150, depending on demand. Collectors always hunt for these perfect proofs because they represent the highest quality a mint can produce. Part 8. The most valuable 2012 PNNY. Among all varieties, the most valuable 2012 Lincoln penny is often a rare error coin. One example is the 2012 D penny with a dramatic die break known as a CUD error, which can sell for over $100. Another example is the 2012 penny struck on a copper planchet instead of zinc, which can go beyond $200. Some high-grade MS69 red examples have even reached auction prices of more than $222.674, a truly shocking figure for a 1-cent coin. Part 9. How to identify a valuable 2012 PNNY. If you want to check whether your 2012 penny could be valuable, start by using a magnifying glass. Look for doubling around the letters in Liberty or the date 2012. Check if the coin has a misaligned die, extra metal bumps, or missing parts of the design. Also, observe the luster. A bright, evenly colored penny with no scratches is more valuable than a dull, worn one. Always handle coins by the edges and never clean them, as cleaning can reduce their collector value. Part 10. Coin grading and CRTFICTON. Professional grading services like PCGS, NGC, and ANAX can authenticate and grade your coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, where 70 means perfect condition. A 2012 penny graded MS67 or higher can easily fetch more than $50 to $150. Certified coins come in protective slabs that preserve their condition for decades and increase buyer confidence in the marketplace. Part 11. Market demand and trends. The coin market constantly changes based on collector demand, economic conditions, and the discovery of new varieties. Over the past few years, modern Lincoln cents like the 2012 penny have gained popularity, especially among new collectors and young hobbyists. YouTube channels, coin shows, and online marketplaces such as eBay have helped spread awareness of how valuable these modern coins can be. Collectors today are not just hunting for old silver coins, they are also searching for high quality modern cents with unique errors. Part 12. Price range and current market value. Now let's talk about the actual numbers. A regular 2012 penny in circulation is worth just 1 cent, but an uncirculated one can sell for between 5 and 10 cents. A brilliant uncirculated or proof example can go up to $50. Rare error coins or those in exceptional grades can jump from $100 to over $222.674. Yes, you heard that right, over $200 for a penny minted just over a decade ago. Part 13. Why collectors love the 2012 PNN. Why collectors love the 2012 penny? Because it represents a mix of history and modern minting technology. It connects the legacy of Abraham Lincoln to the 21st century and reminds us that even a small coin can tell a big story. The simple design, the beautiful Union shield, and the possibility of finding hidden errors make it one of the most exciting coins to search for. Every 2012 penny has a story to tell, and sometimes, that story can turn into real money. Part 14. How to sell or keep your 2012 PNN. If you find a rare or high-grade 2012 penny, you can sell it online on coin auction sites, eBay, or through local dealers. However, many collectors prefer to keep these coins as long-term investments. Coins can appreciate in value over time, especially if they are preserved well and remain in demand. Store your coins in plastic holders or coin albums away from heat, moisture, and air exposure to maintain their mint shine and prevent corrosion. Part 15. Conclusion and final message. So next time you receive a 2012 Lincoln penny in your change, don't ignore it, check it carefully because it might be worth far more than 1 cent. From its powerful design honoring Abraham Lincoln to its rare minting errors and valuable proofs, this coin continues to surprise collectors around the world. The story of the 2012 Lincoln cent reminds us that history, art, and value can come together in the smallest of forms. Keep collecting, keep searching, and maybe you'll find your own $222.674 treasure hiding in plain sight. Thank you for watching USA Coins 1, where every coin tells a story and every story has value. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with other coin lovers who might be holding a hidden fortune in their hands.